map. Let's do a distillery. I've been wanting to see distillery today. Okay, we'll probably do one more, and then we'll swap rounds, and then get some new people in here.
All right.
YouTube? What's YouTube? It sounds familiar. Which one, Hadrosaur? Oh, you have the Triceratops. Yeah, I like the Triceratops. That's a good one. It seems very Ark related. I've been hearing good things about Ark. Yes, I do watch YouTube. I'm not sure what kind of I'm not sure like what you mean by that. Like I don't use a lot of YouTube. So I'm not too sure how to answer. Ultimate sarcasm. It's cowcasm. And here we go. Ooh, Goliath. Goliath on Distillery is actually a really good matchup because Goliath can leap over because there's a lot of verticality, and so Goliath capitalizes on that with his leaps very well. I feel that Distillery, I think that Goliath is probably the strongest monster on out of all four of them just because I think that his leaps work really well with the terrain. Oh, do you mean like I follow any other YouTubes? I like watching Nostalgia Critic and Angry Video Game Nerd. I like watching College Humor from time to time. Angry Joe Show I sometimes follow. I'm trying to think of other big channels. I used to really follow this one guy named Arrow Key Gaming. He was really big into the Payday 2 scene for a while. And just because, I don't know, there was something charismatic about him. And so I really enjoyed watching a lot of his videos as well. He ended up going away from Payday 2 and started playing a lot of Battlefield 4. And then he kind of just stopped updating his channel. It sounded like he was going through some issues in real life. And it looks like that, and it sounded like that he was getting a lot of flack from the internet for something. And I'm not too sure. I didn't want to dig into it. And I can tell and stuff like that, but he seemed pretty cool, so I liked following him for a while. I'm trying to think. Markiplier, I don't like Markiplier, to be honest. I feel that he's real. I feel like he's stage acting because I've seen differences in videos where he's playing to the camera and when he's just himself. And I love it when he's just himself, but he doesn't do that very often. A lot of his videos are very much designed for ratings and reactions as opposed to just being himself. And that's probably why, I've only got a few, a few hundred people subscribe to me on YouTube is because I will never pander to the camera. I'm never going to be I'm not going to be a character. And I know that those people can be a lot better, but it doesn't get people to watch, if that makes sense. Which is fine, I mean, everyone has their shtick and things like that. But I don't like Markiplier for the most part. Same thing with PewDiePie. I really like old PewDiePie stuff before he became a character, but I don't like his new stuff because he's a character, and I don't like his character. But that's just me. Hey, God, Fat Cat, how's it going? Awesome victory. I look forward to it. I'll be that much step closer to the Xbox. And 3 mammoth birds, that's 9 food out of the 15 he needs to evolve. So well on his way, 3/5 of the way to evolving. And I think he picked up the feeding perk because that was pretty quick feeding. Monster did startle birds here, so let's go ahead and see their split. So now that they have a Laz, splits are very interesting with Laz. I feel that a lot of times the best split with Laz is everybody but the medic. Nice dodge by Task Force there. Fantastic. Ends up darting the monster and doesn't engage. I like that. Assault doing a lot of damage. Now, one thing you have to be very, 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 very careful with. If you have a Laz, the Assault cannot die. If the Assault gets down, he can body camp the Assault's body with impunity because he's not taking very much damage from these 3 fellers. So be extremely careful with that. A lot of times we will sacrifice the support because if the trapper goes down, the dome goes down and the monster gets away. If the assault goes down, there's not enough damage being pressured on the monster and he can do whatever he wants. So it looks like Laz actually got found here, needs to be very, very careful and ends up cloaking, does go into the building, needs to be very, very careful, and it looks like the assault is taking another rock to the face. So once again, be very, very careful. So Laz teams are very, very team dependent. I have gone over it a lot of times. I feel like if you're going to play with Laz, you have to be very careful about keeping your trapper, your medic, and your salt alive. The support basically is the designated decoy, because if the support goes down, you only lose cloaks, and so you can still do lots of damage with the assault. The trapper still keeps the dome up, and then you're able to punish the monster if the monster decides to try and keep a permanent strike by preventing the Laz from camping the body. But if you lose the assault, you can kind of pretty much camp any body with impunity, and you're never going to take any damage because you don't really care about it a little bit. Nice rock throw to the face there. I like that they're being aggressive in the post chase. The reason being is because the monster is very unlikely to commit to staying an Onamon hunter. Nice dodging by Task Force. Once again, doing a great job here. But with Laz, the monster is not likely to not body camp unless it's inside of a dome. And that rock throw misses. Great stasis grenades though, forcing the monster to use his traversals. There we go. So monster not ready to evolve, making a lot of do with this. So it looks like the monster might get domed here if he's not careful. Holding the rock here. Doing a little tipsy-toe dance. There we go. Rock throw hits the assault. Once again, be very, very careful about the assault taking a lot of damage. You have to keep the assault alive. Otherwise, the Laz team really gets destroyed. And that's probably one of the reasons why a lot of people think that Laz isn't good against great monsters, is because against a great monster, they're going to know who to go after and who not to. And there goes the tree. So the monster almost ready to evolve. I think it needs 2 more feud. Nope, just 1. So it looks like he is ready to evolve. So it looks like he's trying to armor up now. And the trapper and the rest of the team is sitting back. So monster near full armor. It's going to be interesting to see what the hunters are going to do. And here comes Hyde coming back through the side. Comes a rock throw. Misses. And the monster will be running across the beach to get away. Okay, here we go. So Task going down with the dome. So once again, protect everybody except the support. The support should do it. Oh, nice orbital. Going to do a bit of damage there. And there we go. See, this is exactly what you want. If the support goes down, this is exactly what you want. You want the monster to focus on the person that's the least important in the dome. And right now, when you have a Laz on your team, that's always going to be the support. The medic, if the medic goes down, then the team's going to lose, because then they are just going to be able to have no healer. If the medic doesn't go down, if the trapper if the trapper goes down, the dome goes down, and if the assault goes down, there is very little pressure being applied to the monster. So extremely well done. Hank should absolutely do everything he can to try and piss off the monster to make the monster follow him. I also would like to see somebody up here. Preferably the trapper, probably, because that prevents moving around and things like that. So here comes the monster. Oh, and Illusional, I think he came in a little early. I wasn't paying attention to see if he went to try and go for the res. If he went for the res, that was way too early for the res. And there we go with the down. Hank is getting picked up by Hadrosaur. A lot of people kind of neglect doing that. And here comes Task Force, rezzing up Laz. Will be, misses getting Laz up by just a split second. And here we go. Time to punish the monster. So if they are able to go ahead, looks like the monster is baiting this back and forth. And there is the rock throw. The rock throw does down Laz. At this point, I would feel comfortable going straight for an evolution. If they dome me in an evolution at stage 2 without a healer, I feel that you are in a very strong position. But right now, it's looking a very, very good position for the monster right now. So it looks like that the team is trying to herd the monster. So it looks like that the Abe actually might be able to get a little bit of damage done on the monster right here. This is going to be very interesting. So this is going to be free permanent damage for the hunters.
All right, I'm on the tracking guard.
And there comes the monster straight afterwards. So the hunters need to survive for a minute before Laz comes back. So if the hunters can do that, then Laz can res anybody that does happen to get down. Once again, a little bit over eager with the rock throws. I feel that about half the rock throws have been misses, so just be careful. Even if you have to hold the rock for half a second more, it can make a big difference. And there goes Hank, but Hank was invisible, so I don't know if the monster saw. Nope, monster does see him. Nope. I'm not sure if the monster saw where the support landed up. So if the hunters can survive for another 30 seconds, Laz can come by and then res Hank off the ground. Oh, and there we go. Unfortunately, it looks like the monster pounced him. If I were Abe, I think Abe should do everything he can to walk away. So the monster will, in fact, be able to go ahead and eat these corpses in just a second, which is going to be an extra free damage on them. So monster being in a very good standing. 2 strikes on the support, 1 on the assault, and 1 on the medic. So looking very, very optimistic for the monster here, and it does look like the hunters will be rejoining in the middle of the map. To answer your question, Victory, I kind of like Halo, but I also dislike it extremely at the same time. 1, because it was by Microsoft. 2, it saved the Xbox, and don't get me wrong, it's an okay game, but people revere it like it's the second coming of video games, and it's not that great of a game. Like, it's okay. And it introduced this stupid regenerative health system, which I think is an awful mechanic in pretty much any video game. I think it's a cop-out, and I don't like it. But I'm not saying it's a terrible game. The story is relatively okay. It's starting to get a little bit bloated, and I really am sad that they didn't do anything with the Grave Mind from the Senka game, because people didn't like it, which makes me sad, Panda. Because I thought he was, like, out of all the characters, he was my favorite. Okay, so here we go. Monster once again targeting Hank, going after the weak link. And that will provoke the Laz timer. So if the monster can get punished, they might be able to make some work. But look at this. Laz coming in. I feel that Laz is going in a little too early right now. Really should have been... Oh, and there we go. Rezzing between the monster's legs. Very, very ballsy there. Does manage to pull it off, but I do feel that that was an unnecessary risk. So Monster getting the dome down, and let's see if he decides to stick around or if he wants to leave. Right now, I think that he's in a strong enough position. There's no reason to push the engagement right now. At worst, he's going to take permanent damage. At best, he's going to maybe make something work on it, but it really relies on his opponents making mistakes, not him. And there we go. There's the res, and Laz getting another res off, but puts himself in very, very bad damage. Be very careful about shielding him when he's invisible, because it gives him away. Fantastic. So right now, the monster taking a lot of damage. Probably should get out of there at this point and call it quits while he's ahead. So right now, if I was in this position, I have enough strikes that unless I was able to get the assault or the medic down, there's no reason to kind of stick around. Great job on keeping the monster off the food, by the way, and great tracking by Abe. So Monster on the run, not quite ready to evolve to stage 3, getting a little bit of food. So it looks like he has Leap Smash, Rock Wall, or Rock Throw, and Fire Breath. And here we go. So the Monster almost ready to evolve. Might be able to go ahead and do an evolve inside the actual tunnels. Just remember that he's fighting against Hank. I know sometimes you can always forget sometimes and always evolve, but you don't always need to evolve in a cave. If there's no Hank, there's no reason to, especially if you're already dusted and or tagged. So here we go. The monster evolving. Might be able to get a little bit of damage. Abe might be coming around the corner ever so shortly, and he'll know exactly when to throw the dome. And if he throws the dome right now... And there we go. There's the dome. Nice dodge by Task Force over there. ends up eating a rock throw. Both he and Hadrosaur. Hadrosaur needs to be very, very careful because, again, once that assault goes down, it is all game over at that point because the hunters will have absolutely no ability to punish the monster. And so right now, I like that the support is cloaking and heading towards the assault. I think that the assault being picked up by the support right now would be a fantastic move. And there we go. Here comes the leap smash to deny the ability of Laz to res. So be careful, just keeping the monster off. So right now, focus on the assault. The personal shield is down. You know, Hank is worried about something else. It's totally worth this guy getting res if you go up. Fantastic body blocking, though. Doing a really good job. And there we go. There's the orbital. Punishing a little bit. Might be able to get a couple rockets in, but not really. And Laz about to go down. Be very careful if there's deep water. It's almost impossible to get out of as a hunter. So now that Laz is down, Hadrosaur is still alive, but Hadrosaur about to go down. Gets eaten by the Tyrant. Full-fledged eaten, and it looks like, once again, the hunters are going to fall to the wildlife of Shear.
Someone get me off me fucking
And there we go. Looks like the support is, in fact, bailing for another time. So the dropship comes down in 1 minute. So the monster can go for the power relay. The monster's only at a third health, though. But right now, the best move is to go after the power relay. The reason why is because it will force the hunter to come to him. And if not, the rest of the hunters will catch up, and then he can go back and get some armor. So right now, I absolutely think is the best play to make. Just be careful, it is a Hank, and you don't want to get orbital. So right now, Hank really absolutely needs to be in a better position right now. So Hank should absolutely be going towards the power relay, so it can either drop an orbital to buy some time or shoot distance. Now the thing about the laser cutter is that it does have a fall off distance. Not a lot of people know that, but it's got a range on it as opposed to other guns that are infinite range. So just be very careful with that. And that orbital should be coming pretty shortly here. I'd like to see his orbital out. I don't know why his regular gun's not. Come on, orbital, pull out your orbital glove, gauntlet. Your gauntlet of infinity. Come on. Orbital. Orbital. Don't shoot him. I'm going to laugh if that tyrant gets him. Nope. Should have dropped that orbital. I really don't know why. That should have been. And where's the cloak? Cloak, cloak, cloak. Nope. Yeah, I really feel that 100% should have been an orbital from farther away, and he's just going to get a free power relay win at this point. So good game, but I think that Hank was a little bit out of position at the end. I think that they could have pulled that around. GG.
GG.
Good game. So Goliath, you were doing really good in the domes. I felt that you stuck around a little bit too long in the, I want to say when you were stage 2. And I think you downed the, I can't remember. I think, was it the support? I can't remember. You downed somebody. Maybe it was a trapper at the time. But I felt that you stuck around too long. Laz was able to get off a couple of reses. I think that Laz was going in a little too early. If the assault is still up, there's no reason to jump in. You still have 45 seconds. Let the assault do 25, 30 seconds of free damage and then try risking going in. Because worst case scenario, you have 25 seconds worth of free damage against the monster. I feel a lot of people kind of rushing a little bit early with Laz. Unless the monster is really, really focused on something else and you can get away with it. But I'd love to see that held back a few times. At the end, I feel that once the monster evolves to stage 3 and pretty much wiped everyone but Hank, I would have liked to have seen Hank in a better position to at least orbital the monster on the relay. And then the one problem with Hank on the relay is that Hank's laser cutter actually has a fall off distance where it doesn't actually hit the monster. So you have to actually kind of be close. So I would have liked to see at least the orbital go off. But that being the case, you guys did a really good job for the most part. I feel Laz was just a little overzealous. Whenever I'm in a group with Laz, if we're in a hunt, I always feel like the support is going to be the designated decoy. Basically, if the support goes down, that means you have the dome is still up because the trapper's alive, and the assault's still up. Now, if the monster decides to body camp the support, then that's great. That means the assault and the trapper are both doing damage, and the monster's not going to be able to do anything. Worst case scenario, you get 45 seconds of free damage, and you get 1 strike for it. That's a great trade-off, even if you didn't have Laz on the team. Best case scenario, you force the monster off the body, and you prevent a strike from being happen. So always just try and be careful. So we usually throw out the support as much as possible to get attacked by the monster, so that way the assault, because if the assault goes down in a Laz group, there's never going to be enough punishment against a body camper that the monster can sit there on the corpse for 45 seconds, because you're using trapper and support damage, and that really makes a big difference. But really good job though. Your positioning was good. Task was doing a great job with dodging those rock throws. I feel that rock throw in general was probably your weakest ability. It probably hit only about 50% of the time, I would say. So just be careful on those rock throws, even if you have to hold it for an extra half a second just to get that aim, or wait for them to jetpack boost, and then you throw it in their face after they use that 1 boost. But good job.